Have you ever watched a promising partnership fall apart? That's the story of American tech in China. It began with excitement, US giants like Apple, Microsoft, and IBM investing billions, building factories, and hiring millions. For years, it was a golden era of globalization. But slowly, trust eroded. Suspicion and competition crept in. American companies wanted continued access to China's market, but China had a different plan: build its own tech champions. The relationship shifted from mutual benefit to one-sided ambition. This wasn't accidental, it was Beijing's long-term strategy. Foreign companies were never seen as permanent partners, but as teachers to be replaced. While US executives celebrated profits, Chinese engineers reverse-engineered products, building a parallel tech universe. Now we're witnessing the final act. American tech giants are quietly leaving. Supply chains are moving, offices are closing, and the dream of a unified global internet is fading. This isn't just about companies leaving a country, it's the end of an era. Decades of partnership have crumbled under ambition, nationalism, and a silent tech war. The once bright promise of shared prosperity has given way to a tech divorce. The global internet is splintering, and the world is watching. What began as a win-win has become a zero-sum game. The rules have changed, and not in America's favor. The story of US-China tech is now one of separation, not collaboration. The era of easy partnership is over. The world's two biggest economies are going their own way, and the consequences will shape the future of technology for everyone. China's rise as a tech powerhouse was no accident. It was a master plan. The strategy: attract foreign investment, learn everything, then build domestic giants to replace outsiders. In the 1980s and 90s, China opened its doors to US companies, but with a catch: share your technology. Joint ventures became classrooms for Chinese engineers. US firms, hungry for market access, underestimated China's ambition. China didn't just want to assemble iPhones, it wanted to design them. The government poured money into R&D, creating national champions in telecom, semiconductors, and more. The Great Firewall blocked US internet giants, giving Chinese firms like Baidu, Tencent, and Alibaba room to grow. These companies thrived, serving hundreds of millions and preparing for global competition. While American firms chased quarterly profits, China planned for decades. The market was bait. The real goal was self-sufficiency. China absorbed technology, nurtured its own, and built a closed ecosystem. The aim was never to be a junior partner. It was to become a leader. US tech giants were stepping stones on China's path to dominance. Now, China stands as a peer, not a pupil. The long march is nearly complete. The world's tech landscape has been transformed. The US helped build the competition that now challenges it, and the consequences are global. The cracks in the US-China tech relationship are now impossible to ignore. Micron, a top US chipmaker, was banned in China, ostensibly for security, but really as retaliation for US actions against Huawei. The message: China can hit back where it hurts. IBM, after decades in China, closed its last major research lab, a symbol of fading collaboration. Microsoft shifted high-end production out of China, signaling that risks now outweigh rewards. These moves aren't isolated. They're part of a larger decoupling. Each exit sends ripples, prompting others to reconsider their China exposure. Beijing's message is clear: foreign tech is welcome, but only on China's terms. Those terms are getting tougher. For US companies, China is no longer a land of endless opportunity. It's a geopolitical minefield. The dominoes are falling, and the end of an era is in sight. The tech divorce is accelerating. What was once a partnership is now a strategic retreat. American companies are packing up, and the world is watching. The future of global tech is being rewritten. The US-China split is real, and it's reshaping the industry. No one knows where the dominoes will stop. Why are US companies leaving? Look to Made in China 2025. Announced in 2015, it's China's blueprint to become a high-tech powerhouse, targeting robotics, AI, electric vehicles, and especially semiconductors. The goal: replace foreign tech with homegrown alternatives. By 2025, China aims to supply 70% of its own core tech needs. Massive state subsidies fuel this push, creating national champions. For the US, this is a direct threat. China is planning to replace them. The playing field is no longer level. American firms face entire industries backed by the Chinese state. Made in China 2025 is about more than economics. It's about national security and global influence. China's dependence on foreign chips is seen as a vulnerability. The plan is a declaration. Soon we won't need you. For US companies, the writing is on the wall. Their role in China is temporary. They're helping build the system that will push them out. The era of fair competition is over. The tech divorce is official. The US tried to slow China's tech rise with tariffs and export bans, targeting companies like Huawei. The logic cut off access, cripple China's ambitions, and protect American dominance. But the plan backfired. Instead of buckling, China doubled down on self-reliance. Sanctions became a rallying cry, fueling even more investment in domestic tech. The CCP poured resources into its chip industry, determined to break free from US control. Chinese firms like SMIC surged ahead, developing advanced chips. Huawei, despite sanctions, built a smartphone with a cutting-edge chip. The US hoped to keep China dependent, but instead, it accelerated China's independence. The unintended consequence, a faster, stronger push for indigenous innovation. The tech war only deepened the divide. America's attempt to check China's rise became the catalyst for it. The global tech landscape is now more fractured than ever. The US lit a fire it can't control. China is learning to thrive on its own. The era of easy leverage is over. The world is watching the fallout. The retreat from China comes at a steep cost for US tech. China was their biggest growth market. Apple, Qualcomm, and others made billions there. Losing access to over 1 billion consumers is a blow no other market can replace. It's not just lost sales, it's lost innovation. China's tech scene is dynamic. American firms learned and adapted by being there. Now, they're cut off from key trends and insights. Meanwhile, Chinese rivals like Huawei and ByteDance are expanding globally, challenging US firms everywhere. The companies created to replace Americans in China are now global competitors. The dream of a single globalized tech market is over. US firms face a fragmented world, powerful state-backed rivals, and lost influence. The price of leaving China may be higher than staying. It's a strategic loss that will echo for decades. The future is more uncertain than ever. The US-China tech split is reshaping the world. Two tech blocs are emerging, one led by the US and allies, the other by China. The US bloc values open standards and privacy. China's bloc exports surveillance and control. Countries are being forced to choose sides, creating a digital iron curtain. The internet is splintering, one version for democracies, another for authoritarian states. Data, services, and apps may no longer flow freely. Companies must now build for separate ecosystems, raising costs and stifling innovation. The US is securing supply chains with partners like Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan. China is exporting its digital infrastructure through the Belt and Road Initiative. The world is realigning, and uncertainty is rising. The dream of a connected world is fading. Technology is now a front in global competition. The choices we make today will shape the digital world for generations. As the US and China pull apart, new winners are emerging. China's tech giants, Huawei, Tencent, Alibaba, are now global players, but other countries are seizing the moment. Vietnam and India are attracting investment as companies diversify away from China. The Middle East, led by Saudi Arabia, is investing billions in future tech. These nations are building their own tech ecosystems, creating a more diverse global landscape. The world is no longer dominated by just two superpowers. We're entering a multipolar tech era with multiple centers of innovation. It's a more complex, unstable world, but also full of new opportunities. For those who adapt, the future is wide open. The great tech divorce has ended one chapter, but a new, unpredictable era is just beginning. The global tech story is far from over.